Emmanuel, and welcome to the video version of my weblog, The Radio in My Head. So, I think they call this sort of thing a vlog or something like that. Anyway, similar to my weblog, I'll talk about whatever comes to mind. It could be music stuff, it might be current events, could be sports, or what I fed my pet Targ for breakfast this morning. Okay, look, I don't have a pet Targ, and for those of you out there who aren't Trekkies, I'll just let you Google and figure out what that reference is all about. Anyway, I thought it would be cool for my first show to have a guest, and that got me to thinking, who could I have as a guest on my very first show? Then it hit me. Why not me? So, please give a warm welcome to Lee Manuel. Hey, look. Thanks for agreeing to be here on such short notice.
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
I think it's fair to say that I know you better than most of our viewers out there. I know you consider yourself to be a singer-songwriter, so I wanted to ask you right away, tell us all, please, why do you write songs?
Well, I enjoy putting words and music together, the entire creative process. But listen, didn't you already cover this before in a blog post? Aren't you worried about going over the same territory with your viewers out here?
Hey, look, don't worry. I think I can tell you that not a whole lot of people read the blog, so I think we'll be okay.
Hey, look, folks, don't worry about that crap. I happen to know that plenty of you out there read the blog. But anyway, getting back to your question, actually there was a time that came where the creative process wasn't enough, and the frustration from seeking the ever-elusive deal actually caused me to walk away from writing and singing.
Well, some people might say that you quit.
Well, I prefer to think of it as a temporary retirement.
What do you mean temporary retirement? You stopped singing and writing songs for almost 10 years, and, it looks to me that you quit. You couldn't handle the heat, so you just got out of the kitchen, right? So look, why are you trying to do this now?
Well, at one point, my original songwriting partner, James Bush Jr., he came to me and he said, hey, do you really want to go out like this? Don't you want your kids to know that you had some talent and you were a creative person? So that's why I decided to, give it another try, and I've actually completed and released my debut album. It's called 6/17, and it's available now.
6/17? Dude, what's up with that title? Do you know that's not very search engine friendly? How are people ever going to find it?
Well, there's actually a little story behind that title, 6/17, and if you don't mind, I'd like to tell our listeners about what that's all about. A while back in the day, my buddy and I, he introduced me to the dog track, so we would go down and make a few bets on the dogs. So we were there one day, and we'd gone a few times, and I decided finally, okay, today I'm gonna, place my own bet, and my bet was 6/17. Now these dogs were, all long shots really, and when my buddy looked at my bet, he was thinking, hey, this is really a bunch of garbage. There's no way I'm going to place this bet. But he went away to the betting window to place the bet, and, as soon as the race started, our dogs were right away out front. The 6 dog was leading the pack, and the 1 and the 7 were coming close on, and I kept looking around for my friend, wondering, hey, where is he? Did he make the bet? So he gets back to the table finally, and I'm like, hey, did you get the ticket? He said, yeah, I got that garbage, but I started not to. And I told him, well, hey, it's a good thing you did, because our dogs are out front. So needless to say, 6/17 bet came in. We won. It was just a $2 bet. Well, we won close to $1,000 on it, and so it became a running joke with us over the years. And I would tell him, I said, if I ever do an album, that's going to be the title, 6/17. And it's because, we bet on a bunch of long shots, and they came in, and this time I'm the long
Hey,
shot.
look, that's a really cool story, but you're still going to have trouble with search engines finding them. Now look, what's up with all this socially conscious business in the music? Do you really think that people want to listen to that after a hard day at work?
Well, look, I've discovered that you can't please everybody all the time, but I do believe if the songs are well done and have some meaning, that yes, I do think people will listen after that hard day's work.
Some of your songs appear to be somewhat political in nature. Aren't you worried about alienating any of your potential fans with what you have to say?
Well, on this album there were a number of things that I wanted to say about various subjects.
Okay, yeah, I get that. But, aren't sales important?
Yeah, I'm concerned about sales, but I think, sometimes you have to just do your thing, put it out there, and see what happens.
Look, would you at least please just tell the people that you at least do some love songs, right? I mean, everybody likes love songs, right?
Well, sure, I do love songs and good time songs. But, love songs can also have a theme that can be applied to other situations. One of the songs that I'm working on right now is called Where Else Are You Gonna Go? And it's a relationship song, and it's about, in the relationship, one person thinks that they have the upper hand, and so they're saying to the other person, where else are you gonna go? Who else is gonna love you like I do? Who's gonna treat you like as well as me? And you can think of that in a political context, because here in this country, our two major parties, they tend to treat their constituents that way. They basically say, hey, look, you're not going to go play for the other team, are you? I mean, those are the bad guys over there. They're not going to take care of you like I will. So I think you can, people can relate to songs on more than one level. And so in certain respects, that's what I try to do.
I have to tell you, I find that rather subversive. I mean, it's like you're sneaking in something subliminal, what have you.
Well, hey, look, I object to your characterization of sneaking. I'm just saying that songs can work on more than one level.
Let's switch gears a bit. Some people, when they listen to your music, they'll say that you sound like someone familiar, like Elvis or something. And, what do you have to say about that? And talk about, how you feel when people say that you sound
Well, look, people hear what they hear, and I suppose I'm grateful for any favorable comparisons that are out there, but my take on that has pretty much always been this. As musicians and artists, you're influenced by everything that you've ever heard, any artist that you've ever listened to, and what you do is you combine all of those influences, bring them together, but then you create your own mix, and so. And sometimes reaching for someone else, you find yourself. And so people hear what they hear, and if that's the comparison, then hey, that's great. But that's it is what it is.
All right, dude, listen, that is the biggest bunch of psychobabble that I've ever heard. I mean, why don't you just admit to the people that you sound like Elvis instead of trying to fake them out with all that artsy talk that you.
Okay, look, I'll tell you what. Why don't we let the people decide, okay? Why don't we do a little something and we can let the people decide if they think that, I sound like Elvis, all right?
We?
So
What do you
maybe
mean,
you should,
we?
help me
I
out
look
a
like
little
some
bit.
sort of machine that you can just stick a quarter in and I perform on demand. I mean, look, I see that you need a little help here today. So I'll maybe try and help.
All right, well, how about we do that goodbye song, Yeah, the old tune from the Donnie Marie show.
You mean that old Donnie Marie thing? Okay. Well,
All right, you take it.
Let's do it. May tomorrow be a perfect day.
May you find love and laughter along the way.
May God keep you in His tender care
till He brings us together again.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. That's the radio in my head. We'll see you next time.
Love you.
I found you dreaming